Earth Mama. This is currently available on Paramount Plus with Showtime with audio description. So, like, it's a Showtime title. You have to have the extension, the Showtime extension, to watch it. But it does have audio description. It's an A24 release. They're actually generally pretty good about getting audio description on their titles. And they do have this deal that locks them in with Showtime. I keep waiting for Beau is Afraid. I'm like, where is it? Anyway, that's just an aside. This film stars at least my lovely Amazon Echo device here says her name is Tia No More. We're gonna go with that. I'm trying to figure out how to pronounce. She plays Gia, who is a mother in the Bay Area, who is trying to regain custody of her two kids, who are currently in foster care, while also being pregnant with a third. And sort of that journey and that life and the stuff that she has to go through as she's trying to be a better person, make better choices, reclaim and fight for her family. So if you liked 1001, this might be up your alley, even though that film is about something totally different. But it does kind of have that same sort of vibe, that the struggle is real vibe. The people who look like me have no idea what this fight is. I gotta say, I'm just gonna be honest. This is like a learning tool for me in many ways. So I love films like this that are made and produced and thrown out there into the world of indie cinema that really sort of reflect and feel like they're happening, like they're actually happening. It's almost like a docu-series that you're watching, but you're not. You're watching a featured movie. This has been nominated for some Spirit Awards this year, and that's kind of why it caught my eye when I saw it was listed under Showtime's things. I was like, it's such a weird title that I didn't even bother checking it out. I was like, Earth Mama, I don't know what that is. But it doesn't really reflect what the movie's about, ultimately. So the film also stars Erica Alexander, who you may have also been hearing some stuff from her. She is currently in American Fiction, where she's getting some awards buzz for being in that as well. So she's having a great 2023. But mainly Gia is the main character, and we're following her, and we're following she has certain things she has to do within a certain window of time to try to regain. Meanwhile, she's trying to, the system is just against her. They're saying things like, well, your child support payments aren't coming in. And she's like, listen, I'm working as many hours as I can. Plus you're making me take these classes on parenting. So there's, my time is, I have literally filled my time. I cannot, which is the struggle, when she's likely an unskilled laborer and doesn't have the ability to earn, suddenly get into a job that earns like $50,000 a year. Otherwise she wouldn't be where she is. And she can't just make these child support payments. She has to work crappy jobs that pay very little money, and they work hourly, and she only gets a certain amount of hours, and she can't go to her boss and be like, hi boss, I'm trying to get my kids back. If you could give me more money, that'd be great. It just doesn't work like that. So you can see sort of the whole thing. And does she make all of the right choices throughout the course of the film? Not really. I mean, I'm not gonna say they're all good choices or that they're all legal choices, but they're all choices where you can see that she really wants to fight for her family. Like, she really wants to reunite with her family, and that she'll kind of do whatever it takes, even if it means something slightly coloring outside lines, but not too far, because she doesn't want to get caught. She doesn't want to get busted. They're talking about like having her baby, her not even being able to take care of the baby that she's currently pregnant with. So, in the very beginning, we don't even know why. Like, this isn't even really explained to us why she's in this situation. We don't know her history. We don't know her background. She does seem like she cares. Her little boy, in the first scene, really does love his mom and is excited to see her and is very receptive. And then her slightly older daughter is the one that's like, nah, get away. But they're both very young, and this is sort of also a reflection of how these things affect young children. Having to be in these weird situations where like somebody has to supervise their time with their mom, and they don't get to see or stay with their mom. Their mom just kind of comes in and they sit in this room, and the mom just kind of watches them. It's I think films like this are important. Is it the most interesting thing I've seen this year? No. Is it the most exciting or rewarding thing I've seen this year? No. Is it something where I feel like I'm grateful that I saw it and I went on this journey? Absolutely. Is it something I feel like is really important? Sure. Is it something I feel like a lot of people are gonna like and respond to? Absolutely. But it was a little bit tough for me to say a film that is hard like this, and I feel like I've seen versions of this before. I don't think it necessarily triumphed and did totally different things than other things I've seen where you have a mother that's trying to get her kids back out of foster care. Like, it didn't feel like it necessarily gave me a fresh perspective on that, but it is another honest perspective on that, and it is the same story that we can continue to tell. There's so much that I could go into this system, politically speaking, as to how we fail people like this from the very beginning, by not giving them the support that they need. We want people to produce babies no matter what, but we don't actually offer them the support that they need when they have the babies. And we have people who are constantly trying to take away things that would help mothers like this raise their children, or would help the children, with like free school lunches or school breakfasts and stuff like that, that would help these kids. They just want them out there in the universe. They don't care how they get there. They're just like, they're there. Well, we got them out. Cool. Now what? You actually have to do something with it. You can't just make everybody have babies and then this is what happens when we just kind of just say fuck it and just let everybody just drown. Like, this is an example of society failed Gia as much as Gia made bad decisions. It's both. So it reminded me a lot of Precious, I gotta be honest, and Precious is a tremendous film. And while I think Tia No More, I guess that's her name. That sounds like a weird name. Maybe she's a rapper. I don't know. Because it sounds like Tia No More. When she's in the film, she feels so realistic. Like, it doesn't feel like acting to me. But at the same time, I think about a film like Precious, and I think about when you put somebody like Gabby Sidibe and Monique in that film, and the powerful scenes that they had representing very similar sort of situations and relationships about struggling parents entrenched in the system that is set for them to fail. That's kind of why I feel like I've seen this before. And also this year with Tiana Taylor's 1001, which again is a little bit different, but you don't know that until you've seen the movie. I'm just going to acknowledge that I know it's not the same thing, but again, you don't really know that until you've seen the movie. So I can't really talk about that. Yeah, so it is what it is. I think people should watch this. I think it's a really good film. I respect the fact that it's being nominated for Independent Spirit Awards. I think that's exactly where it should be. And I don't know what to say about our lead performer, Tia. I think I think I'd be interested to see her do more things, but there's something that's very raw about her performance and very sort of it doesn't even feel like a performance. It feels like they grabbed some woman off the street and just started following her with a camera. So seeing her in future things when she's actually having to really perform or have a character, make choices, something that's maybe less of in her wheelhouse. I don't know how that's going to turn out, but I think she does a really nice job here. And this is a film that really kind of surprised me because I had no expectations of it other than the fact that I saw it was nominated for Independent Spirit Awards, which doesn't always mean I'm going to like the film. So, I think this is a one and done, which is kind of works against this film. I could never see myself watching this again or wanting to see this again. It's not really an uplifting film. But it does its job. It reminds us how we have failed as a society in many ways. And for that, I tip my hat. The audio description it's fine. There isn't much to do here except to kind of remind us about the plight of the situation. We get told immediately. I love the immediate that she has a lip ring, like a lip piercing, and I was like, I have a lip piercing. What are you trying to say, film? What kind of judgment are you? I immediately felt triggered. I was like, be careful, tread lightly. It was like the first thing I noticed about her, like in the audio description that they told us. I was like, are we supposed to judge her based on that? Is that what we're doing here? Anyway, just like a thought that I had, because that would not have been my first judgment of her. I would have been like, oh, she's a lip ring, get the fuck out of here. It's some interesting choices, but it's fine. The audio description's fine. That's it. That's all I got. So I'm gonna give Earth Mama an A-. It's good. It's honest, and it feels real. So if you have a chance to check it out, do it. If you just don't like your films to be depressing and real, then don't check it out, because this film is not necessarily the happiest film, a weird film to watch at Christmas time, by the way. But it's also sort of an important film to watch at Christmas time because there's so many people who are not with their families at Christmas. So I don't know. I'm very divided on that, but I hope more people check this film out since it's on Showtime, and a lot of people have that subscription. And that story reaches people. And maybe we think for 5 minutes about how can we help these people? How can we help people in general? Not where they are, not let them get to this point, but help them before they could ever get to this point. Support them from the very beginning. So, just food for thought. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And I do have a website, MacTheMovieGuy.com. You can follow me on X, Threads, or Instagram at MacTheMovieGuy. You can go to the audio description project, adp.acb.org. It'll let you know what has audio description and where you can watch it. And you can go to the ADNA.org. That's the ADNA.org. It'll let you know who's narrating your favorite films and television series. That's it for me today. I will watch something else and see you guys on the other side.